Good afternoon, riders and race fans. Welcome to Tassie Thunder 2025. This is the official practice for our junior superclass, masters, women's 14 plus, and men's superclass. We've also got a little special shout out. It's Esme Anderson's 4th birthday, so a big happy birthday to her. Many happy returns. What a great day to be celebrating your birthday, Tassie 25. I've also just got word that the live stream is now available. LX2 Media. There's a link on their Facebook page, and shortly we'll get a link on the Launceston BMX Club Facebook page for the live stream. So feel free to let family and friends know they can't be here today. They can still get a part of the action and watch it live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tassie Thunder 2025, sponsored by Sprung, Redburn Kitchens, Hut 6, who also sponsored our fantastic time trial last night, DCR Construction, Adams Distillery, and AAP Interior Linings. Big thank you and shout out to our sponsors. This is the official practice for our Junior Superclass men, Masters, 14 plus women's, and Superclass men riders. The official proceedings racing will get underway at 1 o'clock. I'd like to do an officials briefing at 12:50. Sorry, a riders briefing at 12:50. So all riders to come to behind the registration at 12:50 for a riders briefing, please. And then we get racing underway at 1 o'clock. And I've got word, we've just got some delicious hot dogs at the canteen. So riders, if you haven't grabbed a bite to eat, now's probably the best time to grab a bite to eat. Get in an early lunch. We will have a break between Motos 3 and 4 for a break as well. But it's probably not a bad time to refuel now at the trackside canteen. So perhaps grab one of those hot dogs. Hit up the Brew Coffee Hut. Or for a cold ice cream or something similar, hit Chills on Wheels. This is Tassie Thunder 2025. Good afternoon. Welcome to Tassie Thunder 2025. Just like to mention our event sponsors, Sprung, Redburn Kitchens, Hut 6, who also sponsored our brilliant time trial last night, DCR Construction, Adams Distillery, and AAP Interior Linings. They're our event sponsors, and we're very grateful for their support for this event. Shortly, we'll conclude our practice for these riders. We'll do an officials briefing straight away, and we'll do a riders briefing at 12:50. Riders briefing at 12:50, and then we get racing underway straight after that. The riders briefing will be just behind registration. So this concludes our Superclass official practice. If you still want to keep doing a bit of a warm-up, keep those muscles warm, we have got a little area allocated in the back of the athletics car park on the sealed area there. There's a few witches' hats just to mark that area, so you're welcome to warm up there. The only expectation is that we just ask all riders to wear their safety gear, and parents, please supervise your young ones. Once again, we'll get a riders briefing underway at 12:50 and then racing at 1. If you weren't here last night, you missed a fantastic event. That was our Hut 6 time trial. A lot of great action. Looking forward to the action today. Attention officials. Can we please have all officials down to registration in the next 2 minutes for an officials briefing? It's all officials to the registration box for an officials briefing, please. Attention, Craig Whitney. Could you please come to registration for our officials briefing, just for a couple of minutes, and then you could go back to the current duties you're attending to.
1, 2, 1, 2. Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the 2025 Tassie Thunder. We're about to get underway racing very shortly. Don't forget, grab yourself something to drink or something to eat. There's plenty of vendors here today. We've got brew coffee there. We've got chills on wheels. Go and grab yourself a nice ice cream or something cold there. The trackside canteen with their extended canteen there today. So hope we can get everyone through there a lot quicker to grab their food today. If you want to grab salad rolls, lollies, chips, you name it, it's on site here today. I checked the weather forecast here early today, and it's definitely going to be clear with a 100% thunder. We'll get underway racing here very shortly, as I said, for the 2025 Tassie Thunder, proudly brought to you by the Launceston BMX Club. Okay, race fans, we're about to get underway for race number 1, Moto number 1 here at the Tassie Thunder 2025. And of course, we're going to start off with, I reckon, one of the better classes, the mini wheelers, the future of the sport. Well, I've got everything from a 2-year-old up to about a 4-year-old, I think we've got in this one. Don't forget, they race for the cheers of the crowd, so when they come down this final straight, I need the sound of 2 hands clapping, especially from the Berry family up there on the back of the grandstand. 2 hands. So the excitement's already happening down here on the main straight. Okay, here we're 1, racing the mini wheelers, the first race of the Tassie Thunder 2025. The 607, that's Esme out in front. The 48 round the outside, that'll be Iris. Then Ari in 3rd position. They go back to the 262 of Lacey. But out in front, that's the 45. It's Iris, the nice little clear lead. We've given her Are we going to make it up? Yes, right. Back to Iris out in front. They're looking over their shoulder. That's Ari out in 3rd position there. I reckon it's Esme in 2nd. Round the final corner, head towards the straight. Remember, 2 hands clapping for these riders. As we make our way up over the tabletop to begin the final journey down this straight. Good to see the grandstand up on turn number 3. He's putting 2 hands together to clap. As we come towards the finish line, it's still Iris out in front of the bright pink bike. You can't miss her. The 607 Esme. As they come towards the finish line, the mini wheelers proudly brought to you by the Medbury family. So big shout out to our sponsors here today. Ari over in 3rd position, back to the 151 of Jacob. No plate on this little guy. We'll get his name very shortly. We'll figure out who he is. Then we go back to the 262 of Lacey. She's looking towards the crowd. We need 2 hands clapping, especially the Turbo BMX crew. There they go. They get the crowd going. Come on, Lacey. That's all the way. This way. Come on, Denny. Got to get over the line here. All the way. Go, go. Any comments? No comments. We're too busy racing. Okay, we turn our attention up to the top of the start gate for the next race. Proudly brought to you by Rob Fairs. The cruiser, 35 to 39 men. Gate down, way we go for the cruiser, 35 to 39 men, brought by Rob Fairs. As we go 3 wide to start off with, I think it's Jordan on the inside, be Oxley on the outside. They're still handlebar to handlebar. It's still Jordan out in front. Oxley cuts back to the inside, now the outside as they make their way up the 2nd straight. Oh, we've got some wild action happening here as they come into turn number 2. It's Jordan on the inside, Oxley on the outside. Back to Lorenzen and Billette as we make our way down the 3rd straight. It's still the 309. Out in front is still Jordan on the cruiser. Oxley trying to find a way round the long way, of course. Jordan holds that inside line. Here we go. Got a drag race now for the 35 to 39 men. Brought to you by Rob Fairs as we come towards the finish line. Can Jordan keep it rubber side down? It's Jordan on the line. Back to Oxley, Lorenzen and Billette. Okay, the next one's the cruiser, 40 to 44 women, brought to you by Bridget Archer. Gate down, way we go. We've got Farrell out in front, back to Tonks and Tuck as they make their way down the 1st straight. We go down into turn number 1. As I said, proudly brought to you by Bridget Archer, the cruiser, 40 to 44 women. Out of turn number 1 we go, up the 2nd straight. So it's Farrell out in front. Nice little lead at this stage. Back to Tuck, she's up into 2nd position. Tonks has gone back to 3rd. Round turn 2, our leader goes. And heading into the 3rd straight, down through the rhythm section. So it's Farrell, Tuck, Tonks are the top 3 here for the cruiser women's class. They make their way down round turn number 3, down round 3 down there as they make their way down the final straight. Here we go. So it's going to be Farrell. Hold on to this one. She keeps the rubber side down. So it's going to be Farrell, Tuck and Tonks. Gates drop now for the cruiser. 8 to 10 boys, brought to you by Janie Finlay as they make their way down the 1st straight. We go. It looks like it's Mason on the outside, and it could be, I'm not going to hold my breath. I don't know who it is, but we'll get in some numbers very shortly. But it's Mason on the inside for the next corner. 19's on the outside there. It's Sweet going with him. They're side by side. Mason's really got the challenge on him, so it's Mason Sweet. Back to the younger Mason. Oh, he clipped the pedal on the inside. Back to Riley we go. And further back we go Connor. But out now, leader out in front. Into turn number 3 we go. So it's Mason, then it's back to Sweet. They're the top 2. And right in behind him is the Mason. It's the younger brother. So it's Landon out in front. It's Landon back to Sweet. And then Geordie as we go. So it's going to be Mason, Sweet. Oh, Mason, that was close on the line. Back to Riley and O'Connor. 6 sprockets now brought to you by Michelle O'Byrne. As we come out of the gate we go. It's a full gate. No, it's only 7 of them. It's almost a full gate. Here's some colour for you as they make their way down that first straight we go. So a big shout out to AAP Interior Linings today for one of the sponsors of today's Tassie Thunder. As we come out of turn number 1, we make our way up the second straight. We'll get some numbers very shortly. As they come up into turn number 2 we go. It's the 18. So it's Senior out in front. So Senior's got a nice little lead this stage. Back to the 1-2-1 we go. Whitchurch is right in there. The 107 comes through of Anderson. We'll keep calling them as they come through. 73, that'd be Lock in there. The 510 of Grantham and the 15 of Frankham. As we make our way down through the rhythm section we go. We've lost one on the second straight there. He's picked himself up. As around the final corner we go. As we coming towards the finish line, it's still Senior out in front. Whitchurch is coming at him. It could be a tight tussle here on the line. It's Senior, the lead at this stage. Whitchurch is coming at him as they come towards the line. It's Senior. Whitchurch is right there with him. So it's going to be Senior. Whitchurch. Back to the 107, I think it is, of Anderson. Should hold on to third position. Lock comes through in fourth. Here comes young Brown. He's the one who fell down. He's picked himself up. He's coming down through the rhythm section. He's a bit of a character, this one. As he lines himself up, he's getting himself sorted as they make their way down the third straight. So a big shout out to some other sponsors for today's racing here of the Tassie Thunder. So a big shout out to Sprung, Hut 6, DCR Construction, Adams Distillery and Redburn Kitchens. So a big shout out to those sponsors supporting today's event. Young Cooper is making his way around. It's a big step up to do the full length. He's only just come off the mini wheeler, so it's a full 400 odd metres around this track. But the gate drops on our next one, proudly brought to you by the Field family, the 7 Sprockets, with Chapman and Tuck as they make their way down the first straight we go. So I'll say it's Chapman out in front. Tuck's tucked him right behind him there. Into turn number 1 we go. Goes up high, gets the racing line. Up over the step up we go. Down the second straight, it's still Chapman out in front. As we get up through the age brackets, you'll see the speed increase today. So it's Chapman out in front, back to Tuck. You can see the race face happening on both of these riders there. As they down through the rhythm section they go. Nice and neat, nice and tidy. So a big shout out to the Field family for supporting this 7 Sprockets race here today. As we come around the final corner, head towards the finish line. It should be Chapman and then Tuck. $15 boys brought to you by BB's Country and BB's Automotive. As the gate we go down the first straight. It's a fairly quick one. This is the 15 boys with Salisbury, Blythe, Levold and Dawson. Round turn number 1 we go. We'll get some number plates shortly. Figure out who's who in the zoo here. It's the number 179. So is Salisbury out in front. Back to Blythe. Then the 200 of Levold and then Dawson. As they make their way down through the rhythm section, we go. Big shout out to all the interstate riders for coming down here for the Tassie Thunder. Hopefully enjoying our beautiful weather. With, as I said, 100% thunder. But as they come towards the finish line, it is going to be Salisbury. Hold on to this one. Salisbury, Blythe, Levold and Dawson. Bad Boy Bakery and Cafe brings us the 14 boys. Out of the gate we go. 3 wide. Here we go. She's a drag race into turn number 1. Oh, here we go. It's Savage out in front. Bit of excitement. So it's Savage at this stage. Butterworth and Lupton as they make their way into turn number 2. It's Savage, Lupton, Butterworth. Oh, they're going to go drag race 3 wide. Oh, got tight there on the outside there momentarily, but it's Lupton out in front now. So it's Lupton all the way from the mainland. Around turn number 3 we go. So it's Lupton, Savage, Butterworth. As they charge towards the finish line, it's still Lupton out in front. Savage is coming at him on the line. Oh, 3/4 of bike length by Lupton. Back to Savage and Butterworth. The Field family brings us the 13 boys now. Out of the gate we go. Looks like it's Headlam was on the inside. Manshandon, then back to Hall we go. Out of turn number 1, I'd say it's now Manshandon Headlam and Hall as they make their way up the second straight. We go into turn number 2. So it is Man Shandon on the 39, Headlam on the 136, and back to Hall on the 75 as they charge their way out of turn 2. Down through the rhythm section we go. Down into turn number 3. It's still Man Shandon out in front. Nice little lead now. So it is Man Shandon, Headlam and Hall as they come towards the finish line. This is the 13 boys brought to you by the Field family. Nine boys proudly brought to you by Rapid Clean Taz. As they make their way down the first row, we've got Lions, Man Shandon, Tonks as they charge their way down into turn number 1. I reckon it's Tonks out in front, back to Man Shandon, then Lions. Out of turn 1, we go up the second straight. They get themselves into the rhythm as they charge up through the jumps here into turn number 2 we go. So it is Tonks out in front on the 55. Man Shandon on the 41 holds that inside line, and back to Lions on the 111. Down the rhythm section we go, down that third straight. Down to Muzz on turn number 3 down there as they go. It's still Tonks out in front, so it's Tonks, Man Shandon and Lions as they make the way to the finish line. The top 2 have really pulled away. It could be a drag race to the finish line. Is Tonks going to hold on? I reckon Tonks will get this one. Tonks, Man Shandon, and back to Lions we go. Nicole Thompson brings us the 30 to 34 men out of the gate we go. Great jump out of the gate there by one of the riders. We'll get the number very shortly as they charge down into turn number 1. Out of 1 we go. They spread themselves out already. They charge their way up to the second straight. Out in front though, it's the 21 of Sinclair. So it's Sinclair out in front. Back to the 177 of Kingston. Jordan Lorenzen. But Sinclair, she's got a nice little lead at this stage, but right on a hammer there is Kingston as they come around turn number 3, charge towards the finish line. It's Nicole Sinclair. I don't know why we're calling it a men's race, but it's Sinclair out in front as they charge towards the finish line. So it's going to be Sinclair, Kingston, Jordan and Lorenzen. 13 girls brought to you by Tony and Anita Savage. So big shout out to the Savage family for supporting today's racing, being officials and having riders out here. Gate drops for the Tony and Anita Savage 13 girls as we make our way down the first straight we go. I think it's Williams out in front at this stage from Turbo BMX. Speaking of Turbo BMX, any BMX requirements today, go and see Turbo BMX as they make their way up the second straight we go. So it's Williams out in front. We'll get some other numbers very shortly as they charge their way up into turn number 2 we go. It's the 24 holding down. It's Rockcliffe in second. Oh, Carol tucks up the inside there, missed that one. Linnett's back there also. Tuck and Tonks as they make their way down into turn number 3 we go. So it's still Williams out in front. It's Williams back to Carroll. Rockcliffe's going backwards at this stage as they make their way towards the finish line. So it is going to be Williams from Turbo BMX. Go back to Carroll in second position and the number 14 of Linnett. Michelle O'Byrne brings us the 10 girls as they come out of the gate we go. 7 riders in this one on the outside. That'll be the 911. That'll be Burgess. Nice little lead at this stage. He leads the pack down into turn number 1. Got tight on the inside there for one of the riders as they make their way up the second straight we go. So it's 911. Burgess out in front. The 81's holding down second place. That'll be Elston there. O'Connor's holding down third position. They make their way. Headlam's in there also. And Berry as they make their way down the third straight we go. Still Burgess out in front as they come into turn number 3. So it's Burgess. Elston's the second place rider. As they come towards the finish line, here we go. Burgess out in front, then it's Elston, then back to O'Connor. They're the top 3 it's going to be. So it is going to be Burgess, Elston, O'Connor, Headlam, Berry, and Ellis. Rob Fairs brings us the 8 boys. Here we go. Oh, that's side by side. Mason's on the outside. I reckon it's Robinson on the inside as they make their way down to turn number 1 we go. That's Mason out in front. It's the younger Mason, the older ones in the next race as they make their way up the second straight we go. So it's Mason. He's got the lead in this one. He's already had 1 race here today already. Mason Leonard makes the inside move back to Robinson. Riley, the 28, comes through of Frankham, then Cecchinelli as they make their way down the third straight we go. So it's still Mason out in front. Mason, Leonard are the top 2. Then back to Robinson, gives us our top 3 here for the Rob Fairs 8 boys. As they make their way down towards the finish line, it is going to be Mason will hold on to this one. That's Mason, Leonard, Robinson got tight at the end there. Riley comes through, the 28 of Frankham. and then Ceccinelli. Dev's contract cleaning comes through now for the 10 boys. Into turn number 1, it's the older Mason. It's Landon Mason out in front as they make their way up the second straight. So it's Mason, Farrell the top 2. We'll get the rest in a minute as they come up into turn number 2. So it's Mason, Farrell. Number 11 comes through there. That'll be Chapman holding down third position. As they make their way down that third straight, down through the rhythm section, different lines. Some clear the tabletop, others just manual through it. But it's still Mason out in front. So it's Mason, Farrell, and then number 11, Chapman, as they make their way towards the finish line. It's Mason at this stage. Farrell's going with him. It's going to be Mason, Farrell, and Chapman. Combined class, this one, the 40 to 44 men in the Masters 30 plus, brought to you by Neil Buckley Motors and Guy Barnett. As they charge their way down to turn number 1, looks like it's French out in front of this stage from the Masters class. So it's French out in front. Then it'll be Anderson holding down second. Then it'll be Oxley, Burgess right in there, Broomhall, and Billette. This is his second go of the track here today as they make their way down the third straight. Still French out in front. So it's French, Anderson. Burgess is trying to find a move round Oxley as they make their way around the final corner, head towards the finish line. So it's French out in front. So French will hold on to this one. So French, Anderson, Oxley and Burgess. Who's going to get it? Who's got the younger legs? Oxley has the legs this time. Okay, up to the junior super class, proudly brought to you by Turbo BMX. So quiet, please. Shh. Gate down for the junior superclass, brought to you by Turbo BMX, and away we go. We'll get some numbers shortly, but I can tell you there's Lupton, Savage, Cully, Blythe and Levold as they dive into turn number 1. Out in front, so it's Levold out in front. Blythe's gone with him, I think it is. That's the order. No, I got it the wrong way, of course I did. It's Cully out in front, so it's Cully, Blythe, Levold as they make their way down the third straight. Oh, look at some different lines down here. The pace pickings up now as we come into turn number 3 we go. So it is still Cully out in front, so it's Cully back to Blythe we go towards the finish line. Cully's going to hold on to this one. Nice and easy, and then Blythe, and then Levold. Two heats of the junior superclass brought to you by Turbo BMX. Okay, out of the gate we go. Got a nice little bunch as they drive down into turn number 1 we go. We've got Townsend, Salisbury, Butterworth, Williams and Rush. Out of turn 1 we go. Up the second straight, I'd say. Out in the front, though, it's the 179. So it's Salisbury at this stage. Salisbury back to Rush. And then Townsend, the other top 3 as they charge their way down the third straight, brought to you by Turbo BMX. As the turn number 3 we go. So it's still Salisbury out in front. Salisbury, Rush, Townsend as they charge their way up the fourth straight already. So it's going to be Salisbury, Rush and Townsend. Next one at the gate, brought to you by Dev's Contract Cleaning, the Women's 14 Plus Open. Full gate. Shh. Kaleidoscope of colour leaves the gate as the way down that first straight we go. We've got a full gate. We'll get some numbers very shortly, but I reckon Rufus would have to be right up there with it. She was quick on the track here last night as they charge their way up the second straight we go. So it is Rufus out in front. Nice set of hills at this stage. Back to the 26, that'll be Webster. The 134 of Schramm as they make their way down that third straight we go. It's still out in front. It's Rufus at this stage. She's got a nice little challenge from the lead for second and third. There got tight. Rufus is right out of the danger zone as we come towards the finish line. So it's going to be Rufus. Back to the Schramm and the 26 of Webster. Heat number 1 of the Superclass, brought to you by Turbo BMX. Gate down, way we go, Superclass. Great one from the inside there of Cobby. I reckon in the middle, though, it's Fletcher. He's got a nice drive as they make their way down to turn number 1. Round 1, all neat and tidy at this stage. Only 5 in this one, so it's nice. As they charge their way up the second straight, we go. Out in front is definitely the 69. That'll be Fletcher, Cobby. Then back to the Oxley, the other top 3 as they charge their way down the third straight, we go. Some different lines down there. As they round the final corner we go, this is the pace has really picked it up now. That's Fletcher out in front. Cobby then back to Oxley. They're going to be the top 3 here for the Superclass men for Heat 1. Heat 2 for Turbo BMX Superclass men. Gate down, way we go. Good jump initially by Moran on the inside there as they make their way down the first straight into turn number 1. No one's flighting into number 1 yet. As we come round 1, it's Moran still out in front. Then it'll be Hocking in second place. And back to Griffith and Whitney into turn 2 we go. They're trying to race for the finals this afternoon. So still Moran out in front. Moran then back to Hocking. They're the top 2. Whitney's holding down third and back to Griffiths we go. Out of turn 3 towards the finish line we go. We're talking 30-second laps here, but it is on the out in front, so it is going to be Moran, Hocking, Whitney and Griffith. That brings us to the end of Moto number 1. So once again, big shout out to AAP Interior Linings, Sprung, Hut 6, DCR Construction, Adams Distillery and Redburn Kitchens for supporting today's 2025 Tassie Thunder. Okay, race fans are up to Moto number 2 now for the 2025 Tassie Thunder. Back to this beginning again, mini wheelers. So remember, they love the sound of 2 hands clapping, these riders. Looks like on the inside line we've got young Lacey. She's got the inside running for this one. Iris is in gate number 2. The 601, could be 607, sorry. Esme, the 151's trying to, that'd be young Jacob. He's trying to cut across the inside of the field already. Okay, we're going to have a bit of a stagger start in this one. Here comes young Lacey. Let's go, Lacey, all the way. Go. Don't look sideways. Go look forwards. I was going to say pedal, but you can't pedal, can you? You got to push. Okay, off comes our next rider. I don't have a number plate. That could be Emery, I think. I'm trying to get a thumbs up from someone. Tell me if it's Emery. Yes, I got the thumbs up. Right, it's Emery, right. Where away we go. Who's our next rider is going to take off? The 151, that's young Jake. Oh, we're all the way now. On the 48 comes through. Iris. Ari's got the head down. Don't look at me. I love how to look at me. As they make their way down the rhythm section, down the first straight, there's still Lacey out in front. And it's Emery holding down second. Here they go. We've lost our leader behind the tabletop somewhere. Here she comes up over the tabletop. She's looking sideways. She wants the crowd to cheer them on. By 2032, these could be the riders up in Brisbane at the Olympics. Who knows? As we come towards the finish line, it's Lacey out in front. Here comes young Jacob. He's holding down second. Oh, here around the outside, here comes, I think it's Iris. Yes, Iris with the face paint, the side by Jacob and Iris side by side. Jacob, Iris. 607 comes Esme. Emery over the line. Lacey. And here comes Ari. Here we go. Oh, he's having fun apparently. That's good. That was proudly brought to you by the Medbury family. Okay, up at the main gate now, we've got the Cruiser 35 to 39 men, proudly brought to you by Rob Fairs. Green light, gate down, way we go. Oxley got a great one from the inside. His compatriot on the outside. Jordan's gone with him. So it's Oxley, Jordan, Lorenzen and Billette as they make their way into turn number 1 we go. So Lorenzen and Billette are nearly rubbing elbows. But out in front though, it's Oxley at this stage. So it's Oxley on the number 50. Jordan on the 309. Lorenzen's gone up high. Billette's gone to the inside. It's going to be a drag race for third and fourth. Down the third straight we go. That's almost banging elbows. But back to the leader. It's Oxley out in front. It's Oxley, Jordan. Third and fourth are switching faster than anything. As they come over the line, though, it's going to be Oxley, Jordan with the rubber side down. Here comes Lorenzen and Billette on the line. Who's going to get that one? Oh, I'm going to give it to Lorenzen on this one, then back to Billette. Okay, the Cruiser women's class brought to you by Bridget Archer. Out in front, though, looks like it's Farrell at this stage. So Farrell, Tuck and Tonks as they make their way down into turn number 1. It's the queen of the cruisers here at the Launceston BMX Club. It's Farrell on the number 21. That's about her age too. As we make her way around turn number 2. So it is Farrell, Tuck, back to Tonks. Too much laughing, Claire. You got to pedal harder. As we go down the third straight, we go into the final corner. It's still Farrell out in front. It's Farrell around turn number 3, heading down the final straight we go. It's Farrell. Farrell's going to hold on to this one. Then we go back to Tuck on the 181 and Tonks on the 41. I think they've got 3 people in the races here today. Okay, Janie Finlay brings us the Cruiser 8 to 10 boys. Out of the gate we go. Oh, it's a drag race between Mason and Sweet as they make their way down to turn number 1. It's Mason on the inside line. Sweet cut back to the inside. Here we go. We're going to drag race up the second straight again. So it's Mason, Sweet. Back to Mason in third as also as we make our way around turn number 2. So it's Mason, Sweet, Mason, Riley. Then back to the O'Connor as they make their way down that third straight. Down through the rhythm section we go. So it's Mason, Sweet, Mason. It's a Mason sandwich here for Sweet at the moment. As they come down the final straight we go. So it's Mason's, the elder Mason's going to hold on to this one. So it's going to be Landon, back to Sweet. And then Geordie Mason, Riley and O'Connor. Six sprockets brought to you by Michelle O'Byrne. As they go out of the gate, we go, oh, someone's got a whole shot on the outside there. We'll get some numbers very shortly. But we've got Grantham, Frankham, Anderson, Locke, Whitchurch, Senior and Brown. As they make their way down to turn number 1 we go. I reckon it's Senior out in front. Whitchurch will be holding down second. As they make their way up the second straight we go. It is Senior out in front. Whitchurch is right with him this time. Locke closer than the last race. As we further back we go, it's the 5-10 there. That'll be Grantham holding down third. Locke's in fourth. As we make our way down through the rhythm section, we go that third straight. As they sort themselves out, so it is Senior out in front. Then it's back to Whitchurch. Then it's back to Grantham. The other top 3. Locke gives us our top 4 here for the 8 sprockets brought to you by Michelle O'Byrne. As they go around turn number 3 we go. It's still Senior out in front, so it's Senior and Whitchurch. Here we go. The drag race is on like in the first moto. It's Senior, Whitchurch. They're side by side. Here comes Whitchurch. He's put the pedal to the metal and he got the win. So it's Whitchurch. Senior. That's Grantham and Locke. We're going to have the same thing here. Locke's tried the outside line. Grantham's on the middle of the track. Here we go towards the finish line we go. Locke's made the move, so it's going to be Locke. Grantham gives us the top 4 for the 6 sprockets brought to you by Michelle O'Byrne. 7 sprockets brought to you by the Field family. We've got Chapman out in front with Tuck right in behind him. As they make their way down that first straight we go, so it is out in front. There's still Chapman out in front. So Chapman and Tuck for the 7 sprockets brought to you by the Field family here today. As they come up the second straight. Maybe these are the ones who can make the Olympics in 2032. I had my maths wrong earlier. That's still Chapman out in front, so it's Chapman back to Tuck. They've got the race face on these 2 as they charge their way down that third straight already. So it is still Chapman out in front, so it's Chapman, Tuck. That could be the finishing order here for the 7 sprockets brought to you by the Field family. Other supporters of today's racing is AAP Interior Linings, Sprung, Hut 6, DCR Construction, Adams Distillery and Redburn Kitchens. So it was Chapman over the line, then back to Tuck. BB's Country and BB's Automotive, 15 boys out of the gate. We go, right, we're away. It's Salisbury on the outside. Whoa, he's going to jump into turn number 1. Got tight there momentarily. So it's Salisbury, Blythe, and the Laval, then back to Dawson as they charge their way up the second straight we go. So it's Salisbury nice and smooth out in front. Blythe's on the inside. Oh, he's going to challenge him down the third straight. Here we go. Elbow to elbow, handlebar to handlebar. Let's get excited. Oh! Talk about close racing as they make the way to the finish line. It's Salisbury out in front. So it's Salisbury, Laval, Dawson, and back to Blythe. He put it all on the line there for that final corner. He'll need a new top for the next race. Just a reminder, any rider who happens to fall down today do have to see the medical crew before they continue racing. Bad Boy Bakery and Cafe bring you the 14 boys. Out of the gate we go 3 wide down that first straight with Butterworth, Lupton and Savage as they make their way out of turn number 1. We go out in front, so it's Butterworth at this stage, Lupton, then back to Savage we go. Oh, Lupton's trying to save a bit of rubber there as they come out of turn number 2 we go, so it's still Butterworth out in front, Lupton's right there, Savage throw a blanket over the 3 of them for the Bad Boys Bakery and Cafe, 14 boys as they come around turn number 3, head towards the finish line we go, so it is going to be Butterworth, should hold on to this one, so it'll be Butterworth, Lupton and Savage. Oh, Savage did make a lunge for the line, but I think it was a little bit too late on that one. 13 boys brought to you by the Field family. As they make their way out of the gate we go. We've got Man Shandon, Headlam and Hall. As they go, dive down to turn number 1. So it is Man Shandon's got the lead. Headlam's right in there behind him. Then back to Hall we go. All 3 Tassie clubs are represented in this race. So it's Launceston out in front. Back to Southern City, then back to Wynyard we go. Down the third straight, so it's Man Shandon out, still out in front. Nice little lead. Butterworth holding into second place, then back to Hall in third. Down to the final corner we go. Smile for the camera, boys, as you go past. As they charge towards the finish line, so it's going to be Man Shandon will hold on to this one quite comfortably in the end. So Man Shandon, Headlam and Hall. Nine boys brought to you by Rapid Clean Tads. Out of the gate we go. So it's Man Shandon on the inside. We've got the younger Man Shandon. Then we've got Tonks and Lions as they make their way down into turn number 1 we go. So it's Man Shandon with a nice little lead at this stage. Tonks is going to chase him down the second straight here, then back to Lions we go. Up into turn number 2. Here comes Tonks to the outside. Man Shandon's holding that inside. Tonks is cranking those cranks hard as he comes out of turn 2 to get the speed down the third straight. Back to the third position, the 111 of Lions. As they make their way down to turn number 3, it's still Man Shandon at this stage. He's hugging that inside line. He wants the shortest way around this track. So it's Man Shandon still out in front. So Man Shandon, Tonks, Lions. They're the top 3 here for the Rapid Clean Taz. 9 boys. $30 to $34, brought to you by Nicole Thompson. Out of the gate we go on the outside. That'll be Sinclair. Got a great scintillating start out of the gate there. In the middle, though, that'll be Kingston into second. Lorenzen and back to Jordan. As they make their way down the second straight we go. So Sinclair got a nice little lead at this stage. Kingston's coming at her at this. Back to Jordan. He's moved up to third. Lorenzen's on the inside. Lorenzen's now up to third. Jordan's back to fourth. There's going to be a tussle between those two, I'd say. But out in front is still Sinclair. Nice and neat down through the rhythm section. Kingston holding on to that second position. Round the final corner we go. Heading towards the finish line. It's going to be Sinclair will hold on to this one. So it's going to be Sinclair. Kingston. Lorenzen's back up to third now and then back to Jordan. $13 girls brought to you by Tony and Anita Savage. Out of the gate we go. It looks like it's Williams on the outside. It's Linnett on the inside and Carroll's up there also. As they charge down to turn number 1, it's got tight on the inside. Carroll's up to second, but Williams is still holding on to first by Turbo BMX as they charge their way up the second straight we go. So it's Williams, but the challenge on in there. It's the 1T in there. It's Linnett holding on to second place at this stage. As they make their way down the third straight we go, so it's still Williams out in front. So Williams got a nice little lead back to Carroll, I think it is, sorry. So it's Carroll holding on to second position. So it's Williams, Carroll, then Linnett. We'll get it round the right way. And further back we go to Rockcliffe. 1, 2, and T1. Fuck. 10 Girls, brought to you by Michelle O'Byrne. Gate drops, all 7 riders are out of the gate. Here we go on the outside there. Debbie Burgess, she come out of gate number 8, all the way from the outside to the inside to the lead. As we make our way around turn number 1, we go up the second straight. So it's Burgess out in front. I think it's O'Connor holding down second position. And then Elston holding into third. Further back we go, Headlam on the 136. The 141, they'll be buried. Then the 816 of Ellis. As they make their way down through the rhythm section, it's still Burgess out in front. I think on the outside, though, I think Elston's trying to make a move. O'Connor held on to that second position. Out of turn number 3 we go, head towards the finish line. It's Burgess at this stage on the 911 from Springer Racing as they come towards the finish line. So it's going to be Burgess, O'Connor and Elston. Ten Boys, brought to you by Dev's Contract Cleaning. Out of the gate we go. Who we got? Leonard's on the inside. He's a wild child, that one at the moment. But Mason's hauled it into the lead, so it's Mason. As they come out of turn number 1 we go. So it's Mason out in front. Then we'll get the other ones shortly. So it is the 1, 2, 3. It's Robinson. I missed the page here. Sorry, this is the 8 Boys, brought to you by Rob Fairs. Missed the race as they make their way down the third straight already into the final corner. So it's Mason out in front. Mason, Robinson, Leonard, the other top 3 we go. Head towards the finish line. So it is Mason on the 2067. He'll hold on to the lead. So it's Mason out in front. So it's Mason, Robinson, Leonard, Riley, Frankham and Cecchinelli. Now it's the 10 Boys, brought to you by Dev's Contract Cleaning. Out of the gate we go down that first straight. So it's Mason on the inside and throw a T-towel over the rest of them. They're that close. Into turn number 1 we go. Hold our breath. Right, we're out of turn number 1. We're at the second straight we go. So it's Mason out in front. Farrell's in there also. Then the 38 of Watt. He's right up there. This one. So it's Mason, Farrell, Watt. Oh, the number 11 just dive bombs inside. That'd be Chapman there. We're going to go nearly 3 wide. Further back in the pack here as they make their way down that third straight, down the rhythm section. It's still Mason out in front. So it's Mason, Farrell and Chapman. They're the top 3 now. Watt's coming back. He wants to be part of this. As we come towards the finish line, it's Mason at this stage. So it's going to be Mason, Farrell, Chapman or what? Watt, Chapman. Gate down way we go for the 40 to 44 men in the Masters 30 plus, brought to you by Neil Buckley Motors and Guy Barnett as they charge the way down into turn number 1. It's French out in front, and then it's back to Oxley, Anderson, Burgess, Billette and Broomhall as they make their way up into turn number 2 we go. So it's French out in front. Oxley cuts the inside. Anderson had to go wide. Burgess is right in there. Broomhall missed the gate a bit, but he's now charging back through the pack and back to the 599 of Billette as they make their way down through the rhythm section. Now leaders already on the final straight. It's French out in front, so French should hold on to this one. It's going to be French, Anderson, Oxley, then Burgess. He's putting everything on the line there. Then back to Broomhall and Billette. Okay, our first race for the Junior Superclass brought to you by Turbo BMX. Quiet, please. Shh. In the gate that time. Gate down way we goes to the Junior Superclass men. Heat number 2. We'll go back to heat number 1, brought to you by Turbo BMX. As they charge the way down into turn number 1 we go. It's tight there. I can see Townsend in there. I can see Williams also. But out in front though, we've got the 520, 525. So it's Cully out in front. Cully out in front, back to Rush, Williams, Townsend, And then the 200 Lavold as they make their way down through the rhythm section. We go nice and neat at this stage. Old Lavold a bit out of shape there as we come around the final corner. It's still Cully out in front. Cully rush. Here comes Townsend. It's going to be tight. So Cully's going to hold on to this one. Oh, half a wheel with Broomhall and Townsend. Back to the Frog and Lavold. Okay, just while waiting for a rider to get himself patched up, young Blythe had a bit of a fall earlier. He's charging his way, so we'll just give him a minute to get to the gate. So a big shout out to some sponsors of today's event. So Redburn Kitchens for all your kitchen requirements, Adams Distillery, DCR Construction, Hut 6, Sprung, and AAP Interior Linings. So a big shout out to those supporters of today's racing, along with all the supporters who are looking after each race event as it happens. Don't forget, we've got Brew Coffee Hut down there. Chills on wheels for your soft serve ice cream requirements today. Trackside canteen is open, and even the extension of the canteen, I can see, I think there's popcorn down there. There's red frogs, there's salad rolls, there's all sorts of things down there for your food and beverage requirements here today. And because today is all about the Tassie Thunder. Beautiful weather, and as I said, 100% thunder here today. Hope you're all enjoying the racing that these riders are putting on. Okay, we're going to go back to heat number 1 for Moto number 2 for the junior superclass men, brought to you by Turbo BMX. So for all your BMX requirements here today, any breakages or any accessories you need, head on over to Turbo BMX. They'll sort you out. Go and tell Travis I sent you down there. He'll do you a good deal. Green light gate down, way we go. Great jump there on the outside. Looks like a Salisbury got a nice little jump. Oh, how patched up rider. Blythe, he's right in there again in the mix of it. Into turn number 1 we go. So Salisbury, Blythe, they're the top 2. So it's Butterworth. Lupton's in there also. Then back to Savage. Into turn number 2 we go. Oh, you can hear the tyres fighting for traction. It's going to get tight down in turn number 3. It's still Salisbury out in front. Blythe is right there with him. He keeps the rubber side down. Great to see. So Salisbury out in front. Back to Blythe. He's really pushing him. So it's going to be Salisbury, Blythe. Lupton should hold on for third position. Back to Butterworth and Savage. Up on the gate now for Dev's contract cleaning the women's 14 plus open. Gate down way we go, all 8 riders, here we go. I reckon it's Rufus out in front. She would have got a great one out of the gate as they charge down to turn number 1. It got tight there momentarily as they charge out of turn number 1. So out in front, so it is the 33. That'd be Rufus. It's the 41 holding down second position. That's Alexander in there. Then back to the 39, I think it was, or the 33. I don't know. I'm getting confused now. Let's just watch the action. But it's Rufus out in front as they make their way towards the finish line. So it's Rufus out in front, back to Alexander. The 26 and the 134. Oh, I think it was the 134 of Schramm, may have got it. Over Webster, very tight. Okay, the first of the superclass men for Turbo BMX. Quiet, please. Shh. Gate down way we go. Great one from the inside. That'll be Fletcher, I'd say, on the inside. Hockings at the back at this one. Oh, he missed the gate somehow. As they come out of turn number 1, we're up the second straight we go. So it is the 69 out in front. So it's Fletcher on the inside. On the outside, it's the 17. That's Moran. Then back to Kobe we go. Then Hocking as they make their way down the third straight we go. Oh, there's all sorts of action down there. But it's still out in front. It's Fletcher at this stage. Then it's back to Moran. Kobe, Hocking. Oh, Hocking's made a move. He's up to third. He's coming up to second. Can he get it? Oh, Fletcher, Moran, Hocking and Kobe. Okay, heat number 2 for the Turbos BMX Superclass. Gate down, way we go. Good initial jump from the inside there by their local rider, Griffith. Whitney's got him covered now as they make their way down into turn number 1. Whitney jumps into number 1. He's showing those riders how to the quick way into 1. So it's Whitney out in front. Griffith's right there with him. Oxley's back there. Ellis, French, this is all the local riders in this one. So as they make their way down the third straight, so it's Whitney at this stage. Whitney, Griffiths, Oxley's trying to make a move. Oxley's made the move around the outside into second place. Who's got the legs now? It's still Whitney out in front. So Whitney should hold on to this one. So it's going to be Whitney, Oxley, Griffith, French, Ellis. And that brings us to the end of Moto number 2 here of the 2025 Tassie Thunder. We'll get ourselves sorted ready for Moto number 3. At the end of Moto number 3, we will be stopping for about a 20-minute break, I reckon it will be. Got the thumbs up from Race Director, 20-minute break so everyone can grab something to eat or drink. So don't forget the Brew Coffee Hut, Chills on Wheels, Trackside Canteen with their extension there today. Grab yourself something to eat and drink. Okay, looks like we've got our mini wheelers underway, brought to you by the Medbury family. So it looks like we're going to do the stagger start again. So Lacey's out in front in the 262. She's got a nice little lead at this stage. Who's going to be our next rider? Who's going to get the green flag? I'd say it's Emery. He's taken off out of the gate now. He's got his feet up now. He's cruising. He's got these mini wheelers under control here. He's standing up. He's cruising. Lacey's almost to the end of the third straight here. Who's going to be our next one? It's the 48 out of the gate. Iris, she's gone. She's got the race face on as it charges around turn number 2 here. Back to the 41 of Jacob. Oh, Harry, he's angry. He wants to get there. Then back to the 607, the birthday girl, Esme. As they make their way down the third straight, our leader, she's behind the tabletop to come onto the final straight. Remember, she's looking sideways. She wants to hear the sound of 2 hands clapping, especially from the Townsend family as they make their way down the final straight. Here we go. The Townsend family needs to start clapping. Yeah, good to see. Thank you very much. As we come towards the finish line, it's Lacey on the 262. Is she going to hold on to this one? On the 48's coming. It's Iris. All the way, Lacey. Go. Here comes Iris. That way. That way. Oh, round the swoop, round the outside. It's Iris. Jacob's held up there. Here he comes. Jacob's going to hold on to third position. Back to Emery in the 4th position. Ari, look at him go. He's standing up on the frame there. He's fast. Then back to the birthday girl, Esme. Okay, up on next on the gate, we got the Cruiser, 35 to 39 men, brought to you by Rob Fairs. Can Jordan get one back over Oxley to even up the score? Will Lorenzen and Billette have another elbow tussling race? We'll soon know very shortly. Out of the gate we go. Great one by Lorenzen on the inside. Oxley's there also. Jordan, he's going out the back. Billette's now at the back as they charge their way down the first straight. We go into turn number 1. So it's Oxley, Lorenzen, Jordan, Billette as they charge their way up the second straight here. This is the Cruiser 35 to 39, brought to you by Rob Fairs. It's Oxley out in front here. We're going to have a lunch break. He wants to get there. So it's Oxley, Lorenzen, Jordan, Billette as they make their way down that third straight, down through that rhythm section we go. It's Oxley with a nice little clean lead at this stage. Lorenzen's holding down second. He could be under pressure here by Jordan as they come down the final straight. That's Oxley at this stage as they charge towards the finish line. So it's going to be Oxley, Lorenzen, Jordan and Ballette. Cruiser, the 44 women, brought to you by Bridget Archer. And no guessing who's out in front. It's the Cruiser Queen here of the Launceston BMX Club. It's Farrell out in front of a nice little lead at this stage as she makes her way up the second straight. So it's Farrell, Tuck, Tonks as they make their way into turn number 2. The 21 plate. As I said, that's her age. Back to the 181 of Tuck. And the 44 of Tonks in third position as they make their way down through the rhythm section. Nice and neat at this stage. Great to see these riders out here as they make their way around the final corner. So Farrell will hold on to this one. So it's going to be Farrell, Tuck and Tonks for the Bridget Archer Cruiser 40 to 44 women. The Janie Finlay Cruiser 8 to 10 boys, out of the gate we go. Oh, once again, it's the Mason and Sweet show. They're side by side as they charge the way down into turn number 1 we go. It's Mason's got that race line. Sweet's attacking him this time as they make their way up the second straight we go. As they come up into turn number 2, so Mason's now got a bit of a lead. Sweet's tucked in right behind him. Then back to the younger Mason. He's right there with him also. Back to Riley and back to O'Connor we go. As they charge their way down the third straight in single file, it's Mason, Sweet, Mason, Riley, O'Connor for the Janie Finlay Cruiser 8 to 10s. As they come towards the finish line, it's going to be Mason. Oh, it got tight between Sweet and the younger Mason there on the line. Then back to Riley and O'Connor. Michelle O'Byrne, 6 sprockets are out of the gate we go. Just looking at my race sheet here, I'd say it's Senior out in front. Be Senior. Whitchurch is going to come at him as they make their way into turn number 1 we go. Oh, we've got someone on the inside now. We'll get some numbers shortly, but they really mix themselves up as they charge their way up the second straight. So it's Senior. Whitchurch has moved back up into second position. Our third place rider, it's Anderson. Really pedaling hard in this one. Oh, Whitchurch made the move on the turn number 2. Locks holding down 4th we go. The 5-10 of Grantham comes through and the 15 of Frankham. Then we go back to the number 12 of Brown as they make their way down. The third straight is still Whitchurch out in front. It's Whitchurch got a nice little lead as they make their way down towards the finish line. So Whitchurch, he's taken after his father, but he's got no wings on the top of this thing. It's all pedal power as we come towards the finish line. So it's going to be Whitchurch will hold on this one. Back to Senior in second position. And Locke is our third place rider for the Michelle O'Byrne 6 sprockets. The Field family proudly brings us the 7 sprockets, the Chapman and Tuck show. This one, as out of the gate we go, so it's Chapman out in front, back to Tuck. As they charge their way down to turn number 1. If you want a perspective on how steep that turn number 1, go for a walk down there and stand up there and just see how steep that turn number 1 is. As they make their way up the second straight we go. The track's just over 400 metres as they charge their way into turn number 2, which is a long sweeping corner. You get the pedal up on the pedals on this one to get the speed to head down this third straight and really get your manualling and pumping actions right down here. You get it right and it's pure heaven. You get it wrong and you're in a world of pain. As they make their way around turn number 3 we go, still Chapman out in front. So it's Chapman, Tuck as they come towards the finish line. This is the 7 sprockets brought to you by the Field family. BB's Country and BB's Automotive brings you the 15 boys. It's Salisbury out in front of this one. It's Salisbury back to Blythe. I think it's Laval, then it'll be Dawson as they make their way up the second straight already. So Salisbury. Blythe is right in there. He's got some guts, this guy, today. He's already hit the track once, and he's right up there with them. He wants that inside line as they make their way down the third straight already. It's Salisbury out in front, back to Blythe. Laval, Dawson. This is the BB's Country and Automotive. 15 boys as they make their way towards the finish line. So it is going to be Salisbury on this one. Salisbury back to Blythe, Laval and Dawson. Bad Boy Bakery and Cafe brings you the 14 boys. Out of the gate we go. It's Butterworth in the middle there, Savage on the inside and Lupton on the outside as they dive down into turn number 1. Oh, there's close racing there as they make their way up the second straight. It's Butterworth out in the lead. Lupton's got the inside. Savage is going to have to go around the long way. As they come out of turn number 2, down that third straight we go. Still Butterworth out in front. Lupton's right there with him, one of the mainland riders. And back to Savage we go. Down to turn number 3. It's still Butterworth out in front. So it's Butterworth, Lupton, Savage. They come towards the finish line here for the Bad Boy Bakery and Cafe for the 14 boys. Here we go. It's Butterworth, Savage and Lupton. The Field family brings us the 13 boys now as the gate we go. It's Manshand on the outside. It'll be Headlam on the middle there, and then back to Hall on the inside. As they make their way around turn number 1, we go up the second straight. It's Manshand, got a nice little lead at this stage. Headlam's right there. He's got the goggles on. He can't see his eyes, but I reckon they're looking straight forward. He's trying to find the best line. Then back to Hall. Look at the race face on that one, hanging off it like a Moto GP bike. As they make their way up the third straight, we go. There's still Manshandon out in front of us. Manshandon, Headlam. Back to Hall we go, round the final corner, heading towards the finish line. Manshandon's going to hold on to this one for the Field family, 13 boys. So it's going to be Manshandon, Headlam and Hall. Gate drop for the Rapid Clean Tas 9 boys, here we go. Once again, it's another Manshandon out in front as they make their way down the first straight. So it's Manshandon, Tonks, Lions as they come into turn number 1. So it is still Manshandon holding the nice little lead at this stage. Up the second straight we go. Tonks is trying to come to the outside. Manshandon to the inside. Has Tonks got enough? Tonks cuts, sweeps across and he gets the lead. So it's now Tonks, Manshandon. You hear those cranks cranking. As they go further back, we go back to Lions on the 1-1-1. As they go down the third straight we go. So it's still Tonks on the inside, Manshandon on the outside. Around the final corner we go. It's still Tonks out in front. Manshandon's right there with him as they charge towards the finish line. It's Tonks on the 55, Manshandon on the 41. Manshandon's coming at him. Tonks is cranking hard. It's going to be Tonks, Manshandon, and back to Lions for the Rapid Clean Tas 9 boys. Thank you. 30 to 34 is Nicole Thompson. Out of the gate we go. As they make their way down the first straight, Kingston on the inside, but Sinclair holding. It's going to get tight. Oh! Sinclair just holds on that one. Kingston just keeps it upright. Back to Jordan and Lorenzen as they charge their way up into turn number 2 we go. It's Sinclair out in front. They got the race face on. Kingston's really pushing hard. Jordan and Lorenzen, they come around. I don't know how many classes those two are in today. As around the final corner we go, it's Sinclair still out in front. Kingston's right there with them as they come towards the finish line. It's still Sinclair. Here comes Kingston. Who's going to get it on the line? I'm looking for Sinclair. Kingston got it on the line. Is it actually the computer saying it's a dead heat now? There you go. That's some racing for you. That was proudly brought to you by Nicole Thompson. Okay, the Tony and Anita Savage, 13 girls. Out of the gate we go. It's Williams out in front, and Linnett's holding down second place. Carol will be right in there. Carol's moved up to second like she dive bombs that first corner. Up the second straight we go. It's the Turbo BMX. Williams out in front as they come up to turn number 2. So it's Williams, Linnett, Carol, then back to Linnett we go. Tuck, Rockcliffe. And the 555 comes through of Tonks as they make their way down the third straight we go. So still Williams out in front. There's a nice little clean set of hills at this stage. Carol's on the inside. Linnett's pulled in behind her. It's going to be a drag race between those two as we come towards the finish line. It's going to be Williams. Linnett's now got to second place. Linnett, Carol. It's going to be Linnett, Carol, Tuck, Rockcliffe and Tonks. It's
there.
where the timers are on the forks. Yeah. As we drop the gate, drop for the rapid clean. Taz 9. No, we get the right one. Okay, we've got the Michelle O'Byrne 10 girls. As we make our way up the second straight, we go. So it's Burgess out in front. So it's Burgess. Then it's back to Elston holding down second place. I think she's one of the newer riders here to the Launceston BMX Club. Back to O'Connor. Headlam comes through. Berry, Ellis. All these names of the older riders of younger generations coming through as they make their way down towards the turn number 3. So it's still Burgess out in front. So it's Burgess, Elston, O'Connor as they come out of turn number 3, head towards the finish line. A charge, here we go. Good to see the Townsend family clapping up there. Do appreciate it. That's Burgess, Elston, O'Connor, Headlam, Berry, Ellis. Rob Fair's 8 boys out of the gate we go. Looks like Robinson got a great one for out of gate number 1. Leonard on the outside. He come out of gate number 8. A great start there. Here comes Mason on the inside. He come out of gate 2 and he's already in the lead into turn number 1. As we come out of 1, up the step up there, up the second straight we go. So you get the order is Mason, Robinson, Leonard. The other top 3 will get the rest that come through. Then back to Frankham, Riley and Ceccinelli as we make our way down the third straight we go. So it's still Mason out in front. So it's Mason, Robinson, Leonard, the other top 3 as here for the 8 boys brought to you by Rob Fairs. Round the final corner we go, head towards the finish line. It's still Mason out in front. He should hold on to this one. So it'll be Mason, Robinson, and then back to Leonard, the other top 3 here for the 8 boys. Ten boys gate drops. Dev's contract cleaning as they make their way down the first straight we go. Oh, it's nearly 4 wide. If that doesn't turn you on, you haven't got a switch. This is Saturday afternoon here at the Tassie Thunder as they come out of turn number 2. 1 we make our way up the second straight here. It's Mason out in front. Mason, Farrell. Then the number 11 comes through of Chapman. Back to field we go. Throw a blanket over the rest of them as we make our way down the third straight we go. It's Mason out in front. It's Mason, Farrell, the other top 2, then go back to Chapman, gives us our top 3 here for the 10 boys, brought to you by Dev's Contract Cleaning. Out of the final corner we go. It's Mason on the back wheel, he's saving rubber as they charge towards the finish line. It's going to be Mason, Farrell, Chapman, field. The combined 40 to 44 men in the Masters, 30 plus men, brought to you by Neil Buckley Motors and Guy Barnett. Out of the gate we go. I think it's Anderson's got the lead at this stage. He would have come off the inside gate somewhere. It's Anderson back to French at Oxley, the other top 3. Further back we go. It's Burgess, Broomhall and Billette into turn number 2. Oh, French dive bombs in there. Anderson's going to come back at him. Oxley, Burgess is right in there, Broomhall and Billette as they make their way down the third straight down through the rhythm section. Here we go. Oh, French holds that inside line. Anderson found a gap. Who's got the legs as they charge towards the finish line? Who's going to hold on to this one? It's French at this stage. So it's French, Anderson. Oh, Burgess come through on this one. Back to Oxley, Broomhall and Billette. All the way from WA, but really from the Northern Territory. Okay, first of our junior superclass, brought to you by Turbo BMX. Gate down way we go. Good initial jump by Blythe from the inside. Who's in the middle there? I think that's Rush has got a nice drive. Williams has gone with him. Blythe is pulled back into third. Lupton and Butterworth as they make their way round turn number 1 up the second straight. This is once again, I was going to say it's all local riders, but Lupton's our ringing in this one. It's Rush out in front. Williams is holding on. Blythe back in there. Lupton and Butterworth as they charge their way down the third straight. This is brought to you by Turbo BMX. Into turn number 3 we go. So it is Rush from Turbo BMX. Back to Williams from Turbo BMX. The Iron Man today of Blythe. He's done everything, but it's going to be Rush, Williams, Blythe, Lupton and Butterworth. Heat number 2 of the junior superclass men brought to you by Turbo BMX. Gate down way we go. Great one from the inside there. Looks like it. Salisbury got a nice drive. Townsend went with him there. He's going to get squeezed into turn number 1, I'd say. Out of turn number 1 we go. So Salisbury out in front. Our second place rider is the 525. That'll be Cully out in second position. Townsend's right in there as the top three as they come out of turn number 2. Down the third straight we go. It's still Salisbury on the inside. Cully's on the outside. Around turn number 3 we go. It's Salisbury, Cully, Townsend, the local rider as he charges towards the finish line. Salisbury's going to hold on to this one. Salisbury, Cully, Townsend, Levold and Savage. Up on the gate next, we have the Women's 14 Plus Open, brought to you by Dev's Contract Cleaning. Gate down, way we go. Great one. Be Rufus on the inside out of gate number 1. Schramm's right with her there. And Alexander also into turn number 1. We go out of 1. We charge up the second straight. Here we go. Who's got the line here? So it is Rufus out in front. Rufus, then back to the 134, which is Schramm. And then back to 41 was Alexander as they make their way down that third straight. Webster's right in there also as they make their way into turn number 3 we go. Now the race is on. Rufus and Schramm as they charge towards the finish line. Rufus, Schramm. Oh, on the outside, Rufus back to Schramm, Alexander. Okay, the first of our Superclass men. Brought to you by Turbo BMX. So quiet, please. Shh. Get loud as the Superclass leave the gate as they charge their way down there on the outside. It's Fletcher on the outside. Nice move from gate number 8 into the lead into turn number 1. Whitney's right there with him. French and Ellis, the top 4 riders. They charge their way up the second straight into turn number 2 we go. So it's Fletcher, Ellis, French. Oh, French has a bobble there. Then back to Ellis as they charge their way down the third straight. All nice and smooth this stage. Oh, some different lines. Great to see. It's still Fletcher out in front. So it's Fletcher, Whitney, French as they charge towards the finish line. So it is going to be Fletcher, Whitney, French and Ellis. Okay, heat number 2 for the Turbo BMX Superclass men. As Jennifer Lopez says, let's get loud for these riders as they charge their way down the first straight. We go out in front though. Hocking made a move in there, but he's gone back to second place. It will be Moran out in front, I reckon. That's Moran, Hocking, Kobe's in there, back to Oxley and Griffiths as they make their way around turn number 2 down the third straight. And Moran, he's got a nice set of motions down that third straight there. He's sorting himself out. Round the final corner we go. They're just racing to get to a final this afternoon. So it is going to be Moran, Hocking, Kobe, Oxley and Griffiths. And that brings the end of Moto number 3 here, the Tassie Thunder. We'll be back underway racing at about 2:30. So just as we go to the break, I'd just like to shout out to a couple of sponsors, AAP Interior Linings, Sprung, Hut 6, DCR Construction, Adams Distillery and Redburn Kitchen. Thank you to those supporters for today's racing. We'll see you back here shortly for Motos 4 and 5 this afternoon here at the 2025 Tassie Thunder. Okay, race fans, this year grabbing your lunch break now from either the Brew Coffee Hut, Chills on Wheels, or the Trackside Canteen and the extended canteen that goes with it. Just a reminder, last chance to get some raffle tickets. Apparently there's 14 great prizes in the raffle today, so that will be drawn during the lunch break or just before we begin racing. So head on down to the extended part of the Trackside Canteen and grab yourself a raffle ticket and hopefully win yourself a prize here today at the 2025 Tassie Thunder. Okay, race fans, just before we get underway racing, we're going to draw the raffle. Was it 14 wonderful prizes? So, first ticket, first prize. Okay, hopefully everyone's got their tickets out and checking them. Okay, the first prize is a Hayden Fletcher voucher and a Karma Industries bike thing, apparently. Okay, so it's a red ticket, D11, and if you have the surname Butterworth, congratulations. I pulled the ticket out. So she's got 30 seconds to get over there to claim a prize. No, you're going to hold. Okay. Second prize. Red ticket, D20, Sweet. So congratulations to Sweets. Yep, you got 10 seconds to get here, Anne, otherwise it's mine. Okay. Third prize, better keep this going because Oliver will be chasing me to get the racing underway. Okay, purple ticket. Okay, purple ticket. If you're Elise Rockcliffe, congratulations, you've just got third prize. You can grab your prizes after this down at the marquee for the extension of the trackside canteen. Okay, I don't know what prize you're up to, but Diane Lee, fourth prize, congratulations. Who's? Okay, Jackson Jones, congratulations. I think it's fifth. I'm trying, Muzz. Okay, once you've drawn this, come down and see us and get your ticket, then you can get your prize. So, up to prize number 6, Britt Hall. Okay, let's keep going. How many did you say we're going to do? Prize 7, Sweet. I think we're up to prize number 8 from Springer Racing, Matty Burgess. Yep. Right. I think we're up to prize number 9, red ticket, D48, Turbo. Thank you very much, Turbo BMX, for all your support today too. That's 9. Yeah, Burgess is 8. Okay, 10th prize, it's just a phone number, so purple ticket, C24. C24 purple ticket, if you've got that. If not, we'll give you a call very shortly. Okay, we're up to 11th. Okay, Kay Cocker. Thank you very much. Okay, number 12. Thank you all the supporters who get the prizes here today. Chase Chapman. Come get your ticket from us down here. Carol Breers, thank you very much. You just won prize number 13. And the lucky last prize. And prize number 14, Atlas Grantham. Thank you everyone who supported the raffle here today. Right. Okay, riders, all riders down to staging, please. We'll get under racing for Motos 4 and 5. So a big shout out to all the special guests here today, the dignitaries, anyone who's travelled from intrastate and interstate here today. Anyone want some birthday cake, head on down here. Okay, there's no more birthday cake. Happy birthday, Esme. All officials to their official spots, please. All officials to your official spots so we can get underway racing very shortly here at the 2025 Tassie Thunder. Just while the riders getting themselves ready and the officials getting themselves ready, let's get the crowd ready for the next Moto number 4. We're going to see if we can get a Tassie Thunder wave or Mexican wave happening. So I'm going to start with the crowd that's up on turn number 1. So the 5 people are sitting on the bench on turn number 1. I can see you up there. You're going to be my start of my Mexican wave. Okay? Yes. Okay. We're going to start the Mexican wave on turn 1, go to turn 3 and come down the final straight. Let's see how we go. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, round to turn number 3, right? Grandstand on turn number 3, nothing, right? And yeah, that was better than nothing. Okay, we'll do it again later for the official way. Okay, we're getting our mini wheelers up here. You can see the excitement in their eyes and the trepidation in the parents' eyes as these riders are about to tackle the Launceston BMX Club track. Just while everyone's sorting themselves out, let's just run through a few of today's sponsors. We've got the Medbury family, big shout out to you. Rob Fairs, Bridget Archer, Janie Finlay, who's actually in the crowd here today enjoying the racing. Michelle O'Byrne, the Field family, BB's Country and BB's Automotive, the Bad Boy Bakery and Cafe. Rapid Clean Tasmania, Nicole Thompson, Tony and Anita Savage. Great to see you, thank you. Michelle O'Byrne, Rob Fairs, where are we going? Guy Barnett, I see him in the grandstand as well, so big shout out to him for being a supporter today. Along with AAP Interior Linings, Sprung, Hut 6, DCR Contract Construction, Adams Distillery and Redburn Kitchen. We got the thumbs up from our official here, the mini wheeler starter. So the Medbury family brings us the mini wheelers today. As you've seen in the previous races, we do a bit of a staggered start. I think Lacey's only 3 years of age. I think she is. 3, yep, she's just turned 3, so we'll take her off first. So 262. So Dad rides, or brother rides, so why not have a go herself? Okay, next one takes off. I think this is Emery. We're getting the thumbs up from someone. This is Emery. Yep, we'll go with Emery. Off we go, mate. These are the mini wheelers. These are little balance bikes, no pedals. But these are the future of the sport. Oh, Jacob gets a jump start there on the 48. Iris. As Iris makes... Ari, he's up and going. Then back to Esme, little birthday girl. Just had some nice pink birthday cake a minute ago. Okay, here we go. Our mini wheelers, they race for the cheers of the crowd. So, where's Lacey? She will be behind the tabletop right now. Where is she? She'll pop up. Here she comes. So, she'll be looking over to the crowd, looking for you to put 2 hands together. Okay, we've got Lacey out in front. The Iris will be back there. She wants to get another win. She's been enjoying these wins here today. As Lacey makes her way down towards the finish line on the 262. Here comes Iris. She's really hunting her down on the 48. Jacob's on the 151. As they come towards the finish line, it's Lacey. Here he comes. Iris shoots right through there with the face paint and all. Jacob's coming through on the 151. The 607 of Esme, the birthday girl. Pink bike, pink cake. Here's Ari and Emery as they make their way. He's Ari, he's right up there. He's got the Fox race pants on. He's all means business. He's standing up. And Emery's standing up also. You got to love watching the mini wheelers ride. Okay, up next, we've got the Cruiser 35 to 39 men, brought to you by Rob Fairs. I got a raffle prize, and it's a nice plastic bag, so I might I know. I was worried about the time I punched it out. Okay, we've got to remember these are the old guys on the big bikes here, so it takes them a bit to get up to the start hill. Some of these riders, I think all of them riding double duty today too, so maybe a 20-minute break wasn't long enough for them. Coming out of gate number 1, all the way from WA, Brad Billette. He's loving the weather here in Tassie. $5.99. Out of gate number 4, Joel Jordan. He's keeping the rubber side down, so he's enjoying it. Okay, here we go. Rob Fair's Cruiser, 35 to 39 men. Gate down, way we go. Billette got a great one out of the gate this time. But Jordan, where's he come from? He's had a great lunch break. And round the outside comes Oxley, he's cruising. But Jordan, he's loving this cruiser race. As he charges his way up the second straight, it's Jordan on the inside. Oxley's on the outside, back to Lorenzen and back to Brulette. But out in front though, Oxley swoops around, comes around there. Jordan tries the inside line. He's got the legs pumping, probably run out of breath already. As they make their way down the third straight, it's still Oxley out in front. It's Oxley back to Jordan. Lorenzen and Billette as they come around the final corner here for the Cruiser, 35 to 39 men, brought to you by Rob Fairs. It's going to be Oxley will hold on to this one. So it's going to be Oxley on the number 50. Back to Jordan on the 309. The 30 of Lorenzen comes through and Billette on the 599. Okay, the Bridget Archer Cruiser, 40 to 44 women. Out of the gate we go. So out in front, it's Farrell out in front. Tucks right in behind her, then back to Tonks we go. Out of turn number 1 we go, so it is still Farrell out in front. It's Farrell being chased down by Tuck as they make their way up the second straight we go. But is the queen of the cruiser here at the Launceston BMX Club, the 21-year-old Farrell out in front. As he makes her way around turn number 2, so it's Farrell, Tuck. It's Tonks in third position. She definitely races for the cheers of the crowd. I think she's got a son and a daughter riding here today. But out in front, it's young Farrell as she charges the way to the finish line. So it's going to be Farrell, hold on to this one on the 21. Back to Tuck and then Tonks for the Cruiser. 40 to 44 women, brought to you by Bridget Archer. Gate drops for the Janie Finlay Cruiser, 8 to 10 boys. Out of the gate we go. On the inside, it's the number 19. They'll be Sweet. And Mason's really going to have to work hard on this one. He's going to be caught on the outside. So it's Sweet, Mason, and then Mason. But here comes the older Mason. He's trying to make a move. It's Sweet's out in front. He's hanging on for a wild ride here as they come up to turn number 2. This is the Janie Finlay Cruiser, 8 to 10 boys. Round turn number 2. Oh, Sweet slipped a pedal there. Then Mason's he's got his nose in front here. He's got a sniff of a wind as he comes into turn number 3. It's Mason out in front. So it's Mason, Sweet, Mason. Out of final corner we go. Head towards the finish line. It's Mason out in front. He's now got the front wheel in the air. He's trying to get out away from Sweet. So it's going to be Mason, Sweet, Mason, Riley and O'Connor. Six sprockets brought to you by Michelle O'Byrne. Drops as we make our way down the first straight line. It's be Senior out in front. Whitchurch is back in third position. I can't pick out second place rider in the moment. As we come into turn number 1 we go. So it's Senior out in front. We'll get some numbers shortly. Little plates, old eyes do not make a great mix. But Whitchurch has moved up to second. I got that. So Senior, Whitchurch, and then the 107 of Anderson in there. So it's Whitchurch moved right from third to first in the one straight. So it's Whitchurch, Senior, Anderson, the top 3. Back to Lock we go. The 510 coming through there of Grantham. Here comes Brown for the cheek. 15 there of Frankham. But out in front, it's Whitchurch. He's had a great lunch break. He's pulled away from the pack here as they make their way towards the finish line for the 6 sprockets, brought to you by Michelle O'Byrne. It's going to be Whitchurch on the 121. He's held onto that one. Seniors in second, and then back to the 107 of Anderson. Okay, the gate drops for the Field family, 7 sprockets. Oh, it's a close race in this one, but Chapman's got the inside. Tuck was on the outside as they make their way down to turn number 1. Up there, beautiful. Good to see a crowd up there on turn number 1. Thanks, Rod, for standing up there, waving them on. Yep, good to see some support for these riders. They make their way down the second straight. So it's still Chapman out in front. So it's Chapman back to Tuck. Tuck's really a lot closer in this one than he has been in the earlier races. As they make their way down the third straight, they'll shortly get up into turn number 3 there where the Turbo BMX camp is, and they'll cheer the crowd, cheer these riders on as they come around turn number 3. It's Chapman still out in front, so it's Chapman back to Tuck we go. Round the final corner, head towards home. As Chapman should hold on to this one. And back to Tuck. This will be the 7 sprockets by the Field family. BB's Country and BB's Automotive, 15 boys out of the gate we go. Salisbury got the good move. Blythe's on the inside. This could be interesting into turn number 1. So Blythe, he kept it upright. Great to see. Okay, Blythe's now got the lead. He obviously had a good lunch break also. So it's Blythe, Salisbury, Dawson's net, change of top, change of speed. Then back to the 200 Lavold. Out of turn number 2 we go. Look at Blythe. He's pulling away from the pack, but the race is on for the minor plate. Outside Dawson's got tight there, but it's going to be Blythe will hold on to this one. So it's Blythe. Salisbury, here comes Lavold though, and back to Dawson. Bad Boy Bakery and Cafe. That's the 14 boys out of the gate. Who we got? Got Butterworth in the middle. Lupton's on the inside and back to Savage we go. Into turn number 1. It's Savage. No, it's Butterworth out in front. Butterworth, Lupton, Savage. Get it the right way around as they make their way up the second straight we go. So it's Butterworth out in front. The race face, Lupton's right in there and Savage on. It's a freight train as they make their way down the third straight we go. This is the Bad Boys Bakery Cafe, 14 boys freight train. As they come out of the final corner, still Butterworth out in front. Lupton's coming at him, and Savage is also. The race is to the line. It's Butterworth this stage. Butterworth, Lupton, Savage. The Field family brings us the 13 boys. Away we go. It's Manshand on the inside. It'll be Headlam on the outside and Hall in the middle there as they make their way down the first straight into turn number 1. They've now got the Field family 13 boys freight train as they're going to call it here this afternoon. It's Manshannon out in front. Manshandon's got a nice little lead at this stage. Headlam's right there, got the race goggles on there. Hall's hanging off it like a Moto GP bike. Love his riding style. As they make their way down that third straight, it's still Manshannon out in front. Back to the 136 of Headlam and the 75 of Hall. As they come into turn number 3, out of 3 already. Our leaders, they come towards the finish line. Manshannon should hold on to this one. Manshannon, nice little win in this one. Manshannon, Headlam with the head bobbling there, and then back to our Moto GP rider Hall. Rapid clean Tas, 9 boys out of the gate we go. Tonks, Lyons and Manshandon. Tonks is on the inside, Manshandon's on the outside, and back to Lyons we go. Round turn number 1 up the second straight. It's still Manshandon and Tonks side by side as they charge their way up the second straight. Who's going to have the bravery on the inside here? Tonks is going to get it. So it's Tonks. Hear those cranks cranking out of Tonks. He wants to get the win in this one. Back to Manshandon and the 111 of Lyons. He's putting a great ride in here today as our leaders make their way down to turn number 3. Delve down into the depth of that 3 and out of the corner we come up over the tabletop. It's Tonks at this stage. Manshannon's coming at him. Manshannon got the better drive. Who's got the horsepower in the legs? Towards the line it's going to be Tonks. It was Tonks on the line. The computer says Tonks. Back to Manshannon. And Lyons, fist pumps everywhere at the finish line here. Okay, then Nicole Thompson. 30 to 34s are out of the gate. Who's out in front? It'd be Sinclair. It'd be Sinclair back to Kingston. Lorenzen and Jordan as they make their way up to turn number 2. So it's Sinclair out in front as he drives into turn number 2. Kingston's right there. He wants to get part of this. Has he got enough down the third straight? They're side by side, but it's going to get tight. Oh, Sinclair, Kingston, he just didn't have enough, ran out of track. As they make their way down to the finish line, here we go. It's going to be Sinclair at this stage. It's going to be Sinclair, Kingston. It's going to be tight. Sinclair and Kingston by half a bike length in that one. Back to Lorenzen and Jordan. Tony Anita Savage, 13 girls out of the gate we go. Rockcliffe got a great one in this one. The 14 in the middle there, Linnet's also, but Williams round the outside. So it's Williams, Rockcliffe, Linnet, Carroll's in there also as they make their way up the second straight we go. They sort themselves out. So it's Williams at this stage. Linnet's holding down second. Rockcliffe, Carroll's going to make the inside move. Back to Tuck we go. And Tonks. Around turn 2 we go down that rhythm section straight 3 here at Launceston BMX Club. It's Williams out in front. It's Williams. Linnet's on the outside there. Carroll's trying to find a move, but Williams is still holding as they make the way towards the finish line here for the 2025 Tassie Thunder. 13 girls brought to you by Tony Anita Savage. So it's going to be Williams, Linnet, Carroll, Rockcliffe, Tuck and Tonks. Michelle O'Byrne, 10 girls, 7 riders out of the gate we go. 911 looks like it's the Springer race rider out in front, Burgess, as they dive into turn number 1. Then it's back to Elston in second place as they make their way up the second straight. We'll get their other numbers. I think it could be Headlam holding on to third position. Then back to Berry, Ellis and O'Connor. But it's Burgess out in front as they make their way into the third straight here, down through the rhythm section. It's still Burgess, Elston, Headlam, Berry, Ellis, O'Connor as they make their way down through there all nice and safe at this stage. Round the final corner, heading towards home. This is the Michelle O'Byrne 10 girls as they come towards the finish line. So it is going to be Burgess will hold on to this one. Burgess, Elston, the 136 at Headlam. That's going to be tight on the line. Oh, I think it was O'Connor got that one. Then back to Berry and Ellis. Rob Fairs, 8 boys are out of the gate. Here we go. On the inside, it's Mason. On the outside, it's Robinson. These two have ding-dong battled all day, as they do at most rounds. Out of the first corner we go. Down the second straight, it's still Mason out in front. So it's Mason, Robinson, the top 2. Here comes Leonard on the 444, charging his way through. The 28 of Frankham's right in there. Riley on the number 12 and Ceccinelli on the 747. He's flying right in the back of the pack there as they make their way down the third straight. It's Mason out in front. He's got a clean set of hills on him now. Out of the final corner we go. It's Mason out in front. So Mason should hold on to this one. Robinson will get the second position and back to Leonard on the 444 for third. Dev's contract cleaning for the 10 boys. Here we go. On the inside, it's Farrell. He's got the lead at this stage. So it's Merrill. Mason's in second position. This will be interesting as they come out of turn number 1 we go. Mason's now got the lead. He charged on that inside line. So it's Mason, Farrell. It could be Watt on the outside, but he got the 19 on the inside of Sweet. He's made the move. Back to Field in the 4th position. As they make their way down the third straight we go. There's still Mason out in front. So it's Mason, Farrell, and the number 19, I think it was, of Sweet holding down third position as they make the way towards the finish line here for the Devs contract cleaning 10 boys. So it's going to be Mason, Farrell and Sweet. $40 to $44 men in the Masters 30 plus, brought to you by Neil Buckley Motors and Guy Barnett. As they make their way down the first straight we go. Looks like French has got the move around the outside. It'll be French, Oxley. Burgess is right up in this one. He's had a great lunch break. Anderson's coming at him. Broomhall and Billette as they charge their way into turn number 2. French, Oxley, Burgess held that inside line. Anderson, Broomhall, Billette as they make their way down the third straight. It's nearly 2.5 wide as they go into turn number 2 we go. Anderson made the move. Here we go. So it's still French out in front. French, Anderson, Oxley, Burgess as they come towards the finish line. French, Anderson, Oxley, Burgess who pedalled all the way. Back to Broomhall, who's on the brakes already. And Billette, he can't get over how hot it is in Tasmania here. Okay, our first heat for the junior superclass. Brought to you by Turbo BMX. Gates down, way we go. Great jump from the inside there. Looks like a Rush got a good one there as they make their way down the first straight we go. So it's Rush out in front. I reckon it's Cully holding on to second position. Williams will be on the inside there for third. Back to Lupton and Savage as they make their way up into turn number 2. So it's Rush out in front. It's the 525. That'll be Cully in there. So it's Rush from Turbo BMX. Cully from the mainland. Williams, he's a little bit out of action there. He's also from Turbo into turn number. Oh! Here we go. That's racing for you, ladies and gentlemen. Cully's out in front. He's going to get the win in this one. Oh, I think Williams could get it. Rush is going to hold on. Cully, Williams, Rush, Savage. And back to Lufton we go for the first of the junior super class. Second heat for the junior super class brought to you by Turbo BMX. Out of the gate we go. Out of gate number 1 is Laval, but on the outside there, that'll be Salisbury into the lead there. Townsend's holding into second. I reckon it's Blythe in the third as they make their way out of turn number 1 up the second straight we go. So Salisbury out in front. Townsend's now into second place. As I said, they're trying to race to get into a final. Blythe is holding down third. Back to Laval and Butterworth as they charge their way down the third straight we go. All different styles down there as they come around the final corner we go. Salisbury's out in front. Back to Townsend. Blythe should hold on to third in this one as they come over the line. So it is going to be Salisbury, Townsend, Blythe. Okay, Dev's contract cleaning women's 14 plus open. Gates down, way we go. Great one from the inside there on the 26. I think it was Webster on with the McDonald's top on there. But out in front though, who will get the names very shortly. I reckon it's Rufus. Yes, Rufus out in front. Then it's back to Alexander. Webster's in there also as they make their way, and Schramm also as they make their way down the third straight. It's still Rufus out in front. Rufus, Alexander, Webster, the other top three as they charge around the final corner already as they come towards the finish line of the 33. So it is going to be Rufus will get this one. Alexander, Webster, Schramm, back to Broomhall. Okay, the Kings without wings. Superclass, Heat 1. Turbo BMX, the proud sponsor of this one. Gate down, way we go. Great one by Hocking there. But in the middle, though, I think it was Fletcher cut out. Got a good one there. Moran's right there with him. Whoa, we got one down. We got two down. As they make their way up the second straight we go. It's still Fletcher, Moran, the front two as they charge their way up the third straight already. It's racing these two. The rest of the pack will sort themselves out as they make their way into turn number 3 we go. Out in front, though, I think it's get this the right way around. It is Fletcher out in front. Moran's coming at him, though. It's going to be Fletcher, Moran, Fletcher, doesn't matter. Here comes young French. He's making it towards the finish as well. Young Whitney's picked himself up. He's carrying his bike. He's going to need a few repairs before we get to Moto number 5, which will be the finals. So that brought us to the end of that racing for this. One more race for the Superclass, but as I said, they're all racing to sort themselves out for a final this afternoon. Okay, our final heat for the Turbo BMX brings us to the end of Moto number 4. Superclass men. Gate down, way we go. Right, who got the jump in this one? I think it was Cubby got the jump in this one. Kobe, sorry, as they make their way down to turn number 1 we go. So it's Cobby out in front. So it's Oxley in second position. Griffiths, Ellis as they make their way up into turn number 2 we go. So it's Kobe out in front. He's got some race pace there. Oxley's right there with him. Griffiths also, and back to Ellis as they make their way into turn number 3. This will bring us to the end of Moto number 4. So it's Cobby out in front. He will hold on to this one. Keeps the rubber side down, so it's going to be Cobby, Oxley, Griffiths, and Ellis. That brings us to the end of Moto number 4. So a big shout out to AAP, Interior Lining, Sprung, Hut 6, DCR Construction, Adams Distillery and Redburn's Kitchens here today, supporting today's 2025 Tassie Thunder. We'll sort ourselves out and reset for Moto number 5. So Moto number 5 for some of the riders and a final for other classes. Okay, we're underway for Moto number 5. Here are the finals for the mini wheelers, brought to you by the Medbury family here. So, young Lacey, you know what happens here. We'll give her a bit of a head start, a bit of a stagger start for all the riders. As he cruises down through the rhythm section there, keeps both wheels on the ground at this stage, nice and safely. Right, I think this is Emery in this one. He stands up. He just likes having his feet up on the frame here. Huge smile under that helmet there. Okay, so still Lacey out in front. It's Emery in second. Keep going, Emery. That's it. Keep going. Okay, we've got those two going. Who's going to be next? Oh, here she comes. The queen of the mini wheelers here today. It's Iris on the 48. Jacob's on the inside. Ari's standing up. He's cruising. And here comes Esme, the birthday girl, as they make their way. Where's our leader? Oh, she's already on the final straight. Don't forget, 2 hands clapping. Especially the Griffiths family. 2 hands clapping, I meant. Yeah, well done. Here we go. All the way to the finish line, Lacey. Let's go. All the way. Go, go, go. Here comes Iris. I think that's Lacey's first win for today. Here comes Iris. Can't miss it with the face paint on. Great to see. Here comes Jacob. Oh, he's got the front wheel off the ground. He was nearly airborne then, mate. Here comes Emery. He's standing up. Here comes Esme. Can she get... What's going to happen here? It's going to be tight on the line. Oh, I think the birthday girl got that one. Here comes Ari. He'll stand up. Here we go. He's showboating to the crowd. He loves the attention. Okay, let's go to the big boys on the big toys. Up on the start hill, the Rob Fairs Cruiser, 35 to 39 men. Okay, here we go. The Rob Fairs Cruiser, 35 to 39 men. Gate down, way we go. Great one on the inside there by Oxley. Billette went with him. Lorenzen in the middle there also. And on the outside, it's Jordan as they make their way down to turn number 1. Oh, Billette got squeezed on the inside there. He slips back to 4th. He'll fight back from that. But up the second straight we go. Here comes Oxley. For an old guy, he's fairly fast out there. Lorenzen running triple duties. Jordan and Billette as they come around turn number 2. We go down the third straight, down through the rhythm section. Older guys keep the rubber on the ground, a lot safer for them as you make your way around the final corner, head towards home. As I said, this is the Rob Fairs Cruiser, 35 to 39 men. So Oxley's going to hold on to this one. So Oxley, Lorenzen, Jordan and Ballette. The points total for the end of the day could be very interesting for those riders who come out on top. Bridget Archer Cruiser, women's cruiser we'll just call it. A couple of different age groups in this one. So it is Farrell out in front. So it's Farrell, Tuck, back to Tonks we go. Into turn number 1. Cruisers just that bit bigger wheel style, 24 inches opposed to the 20. As they make their way around turn number 2 we go. It's Farrell out in front. Farrell, Tuck and Tonks as they make their way down towards the turn number 3. The furthest point from the commentary tower here. As they come up towards the finish line, Farrell's going to go. I think this is 5 from 5 today for Farrell in this one. That's why she is the queen of the cruiser class. So it is Farrell. Back to Tuck. And then Tonks, who's having the absolute ball out there. Oh! High speed wobbles there. The pace is coming. Okay, gate drops. What are we up to? The Janie Finlay. Janie, heads up. This is your race. This is the cruiser, 8 to 10 boys. As they make the way into turn number 1 we go. So it's Sweet out in front. So it's Sweet, Mason and Mason. As they make their way up the second straight we go. Mason's got that inside line. Is Sweet going to cover it? No, he keeps it open. Mason goes for the gap and gets it. So it's now Mason, Sweet Mason. Back to Riley and O'Connor. As they make their way down the third straight, down through that rhythm section. It's still Mason out in front. So it's Mason, Sweet Mason, as they make their way down the final straight. This is the Janie Finlay Cruiser, 8 to 10 boys. Okay, up on the gate next, we've got the Michelle O'Byrne, 6 sprockets. Gate down, way we go. Senior's got the initial jump there. I reckon it's Anderson also. Whitchurch, who had a win in the last race there. As they make their way down that first straight we go. So it's still Senior out in front. Whitchurch has got that inside racing line. Is he going to hang it out like his old man does in the sprint cars or not? As they make their way up the second straight we go. So Senior's gone to the outside of the track. Whitchurch is up the middle line, then back to Anderson, I think it is, on the number 50. As they make their way for 5:10, sorry, missed it. So it's Grantham, missed that one. Sorry, Grantham. That's Locks now up to third. As they make their way down that third straight we go. Whitchurch is now in front. That's Whitchurch. Back to Senior. Locked are the top 3 as they make their way into turn number 3. Head towards home in this one. That's Whitchurch out in front. He's hanging it out sideways like he's in a sprint car here today. As he comes towards the finish line, so it's going to be Whitchurch who's held on to this one. Whitchurch. Senior will hold on to second. Locke got the third in this one. Great ride there. Then the 5:10 comes through of Grantham. Over the line comes young Frankham. It's been a long day for these riders. Where is he? Where's the cheeky little one? Here comes young Brown. He definitely loves the cheering from the crowd. The young Cooper Brown here. He's all over the track. Well, actually, I can't believe we've got 5 races out of him today. Normally he has a sleep. Okay, here we go. What are we up to? The Field family, 7 sprockets. The Chapman and Tuck show as they make their way down to turn number 1. That's Chapman. He's got the lead at this stage. Tuck's right there with him. He's a lot closer than other previous motos here today as they make their way up the second straight we go. So it's still Chapman out in front. So it's Chapman. Back to Tuck we go. Into turn number 2 we go. So it's still Chapman, Tuck, the other top 2 as they make their way down the third straight, down through the rhythm section. Still Chapman and Tuck. This is the brought to you by the Field family as they dive into turn number 3. This is the last time you're going to see these riders on the track today. So put your hands together, especially the Man Shannon family sitting on the fence down there. Put 2 hands together. Well done. Chapman over the line for the win. And back to Tuck here for the Field family, 7 sprockets. BB's Country and BB's Automotive, 15 boys. Out of the gate we go. Salisbury out in front. Oh, here comes... It is Blythe. He swooped around the outside there. He's got a point to prove after having a bit of a fall earlier today. As he charges his way up the second straight we go. That's Blythe out in front on the 496, back to the 179. Oh, Salisbury in there. Levold on the 200 and the 880 of Dawson. As they make their way down the third straight we go. It's still Blythe out in front. He's got a clean set of hills at this stage. Salisbury may not like this, but I reckon he's just racing for points now. So it is going to be Blythe that's held on to this one. Blythe, Salisbury, Levold and Dawson. Bad Boy Bakery and Cafe, 14 boys out of the gate. Oh, look at that. Great start there by Butterworth on the inside. On the outside was Savage, then back to Lupton we go. Into turn number 1. It's still Butterworth, Savage, Lupton as they charge their way up the second straight we go. It's getting tight here for the lead. Savage has got the long way to go round. He's follow the leader there. Round turn number 2 down the third straight. Who's got the better speed down the third straight? It's Butterworth. Here comes Savage round the outside. Quite run out of track there, not enough. Round the final corner. Who's got the legs? Who wants the win? As we come towards Butterworth at this stage. Butterworth, Savage, stop. Butterworth is my call. Yep, Butterworth got that one. I got the thumbs up from the Mr. Computer himself. Okay, the Field family brings us the 13 boys. Out of the gate we go. Man Shannon comes from the outside, swoops across to the inside, and he'll go into turn number 1 in first position. Back to Headlam we go, and then Hall. As they make their way up the second straight, we go up the little step up there. There's still Man Shandon out in front, so it's Man Shandon. Back to Headlam and Hall as they charge their way around turn number 2 we go. This is the Field family, 13 boys, as they make their way down through the rhythm section here. Who's got the bigger support crowd? Is it going to be the Man Shandons or is it going to be the Headlams? As we come around turn number 3, head towards the finish line. Can the Man Shandons put 2 hands together, or can the Halls put 2 hands together? As they come towards the finish line, so it's going to be Man Shandon, Headlam. Great ride there, and back to Hall. Rapid clean Taz, 9 boys. Out of the gate we go. Man Shannon once again from the outside to the inside gets the lead into turn number 1. So it's Man Shannon, Tonks, Lyons as they dive into turn number 1. This is the rapid clean Taz. As they come up the second straight we go. Man Shannon's got the lead. Nice little handy lead at this stage. Tonks is right there with him. These two crank hard in this corner here. Here we go. Who's got the legs? Around turn number 2, so it's still Man Shannon. Tonks back to Lyons we go as they charge down the third straight. Oh, Tonks is trying to get a bit more pace by getting airborne. As they make their way down into turn number 3 we go. It's still Man Shannon out in front. It's Man Shannon back to Tonks and Lyons. As we come towards the finish line, this is the Rapid Clean Taz 9 boys. Man Shannon's going to hold on to this one. Man Shannon back to Tonks on the 55 and Lyons on the 111. The Nicole Thompson, 30 to 34 is out of the gate we go. Kingston's got a point to prove. Can Sinclair hold him out as they charge into turn number 1? There's Sinclair on the inside, Kingston's on the outside, back to Jordan Lorenzen as they make their way up the second straight we go. It's Sinclair, Kingston's got that inside line, it's going to get tight. Hold your breath. Oh, Kingston makes the move. Can Sinclair fight back? Here we go, down the third straight we go. It's the Chaos Racing rider. He's pure chaos down into turn number 3. He's got the lead. So it's Kingston back to Sinclair as they make their way to the finish line. These two have fought it hard all day. I think Kingston's going to hold on to this one. It's going to be Kingston on the 177. Back to Sinclair. Lorenzen and Jordan kept it upright all day today. The Tony and Anita Savage, 13 girls, out of the gate we go. As they make their way down the first straight, nearly 3 wide. Linden on the outside, Williams on the inside, and Rockcliffe out the back end we go. As they make their way around turn number 1 up the second straight, it's still Williams out in front. Linnett's really in there. Here, where's Carol? She normally fights back on the second straight, but it's Williams, Linnett. Here comes Carol, dive bombs the inside up to third, back to Rockcliffe, Tuck, and Tonks, another Tonks. How many Tonks are in the racing here today? As they make their way down the third straight we go. There's still Williams out in front from Turbo BMX. As they make their way down the final corner to the finish line, this is the Tony and Anita Savage, 13 girls. I think it's 5 from Williams here today. So it's Williams, Linnett, Carroll, Tuck, that was tight. Back to Rockcliffe and Tonks. The Michelle O'Byrne 10 girls as they make their way down the first straight. The Burgess, she was on the inside gate there. She's held the lead into turn number 1. The rest of them sort themselves out as they come out of turn number 1. Here we go. So it is Burgess. Elston will holding on to second place. Who's got the third place? Oh, it's Headlam right up in there as they make their way into turn number 2 we go. So it's Burgess out in front. Elston, Headlam, O'Connor, Berry, Ellis as they make their way down that third straight down. I was going to say single file, but they now spread themselves out every which way but. As they go into turn number 3, there's still Burgess out in front. Elston's holding on to second position. Headlam's still in third. O'Connor's right there. Berry also, and back to Ellis we go. As they charge towards the finish line here for the Michelle O'Byrne 10 girls, it's going to be Burgess, Elston. Here goes Headlam. Can she hold on? O'Connor. Then back to Berry and Ellis. Okay, the Rob Fairs, 8 boys out of the gate we go. As they make their way down the first straight, who we got? I reckon it's Robinson out in front. So it'll be Robinson. Where's Mason? Right in there also. Leonard digging deep. Frankham's also in there. Ceccinelli and who's our other rider there? As they make, Riley in there. But out in front though, our leaders. So it is Robinson out in front. So it's Robinson. So it's Robin. Mason makes the move around the outside. Leonard's up to third now as they go into turn number 3. So it's Mason. He's made the move. So it's Mason, Robinson as they make their way down the final straight. Don't forget, this is the final time you'll see the Rob Fairs 8 boys here today. So it's going to be Mason, Robinson, Leonard, Frankham. Ceccinelli's moved right up in there in this one. And back to Riley we go. Dev's contract cleaning 10 boys. Out of the gate we go into turn number 1. Who we got? None other than the older Mason. As they make their way up the second straight, we go. So it's Mason out in front. Then it's back to Sweet, the other top 2. Here comes Farrell up the inside there. Number 11's on Chapman trying to make a move around the outside. Field goes up the inside there. As they make their way down the third straight we go. So it is Mason out in front. Farrell's into second. The 19 of Sweet's holding on to that third position. Round the final corner we go. Heading towards the finish line. This is the Devs contract cleaning 10 boys as they charge the finish line. Mason's going to hold on to this one. Farrell back to Sweet for third. Chapman, Field, Watt, and back to the 804 of Lehman. Gate drops here for the 40 to 44 men, Masters 30 plus, brought to you by Neil Buckley Motors and Guy Barnett. As they make their way down to the first corner we go. So out in front, it's French on the inside. Out in front, Oxley makes the move to the inside back to Anderson. Burgess in there. Billette, I don't know where Broomhall was going. I think he forgot to turn left. As they make their way around turn number 2 we go. There's still French, Anderson, Oxley, Burgess, Broomhall and Billette as they charge their way down the third straight into turn number 3 for the final time here for the 40 to 44 men Masters, brought to you by Neil Buckley Motors and Guy Barnett. It is going to be French will hold on to this one. French, Anderson, Oxley, Burgess. The race is right on. Let's call this one. Can Billette get one over Broomhall? So it's going to be Billette and Broomhall. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, race fans, dignitaries, important people, and anyone else that's here today. It's now come to that point of the day where we've hit the finals. These riders have fought all day to try and make the finals. Unfortunately, 8 into 10 doesn't quite, or 10 into 8 doesn't quite go. We've got 2 riders going to ride off for the B final for the Junior Super Class. So I'd like to call to the gate from the Launceston BMX Club, Hugo Savage. Also in the B final for the Junior Super Class from the Launceston BMX Club, Jack Butterworth. It's been some stiff competition today to try and make this Junior Super Class final, brought to you by Turbo BMX. Gate down way we go for the junior superclass men, brought to you by Turbo BMX. These two riders have gone at it all day in two different classes. It's Savage in front of this stage. Butterworth take the inside move. Savage went high, Butterworth stayed low. Here we go side by side. This is how close the competition is here. As we go into turn number 2, it's Savage, Butterworth on the inside. We're going to go side by side again down the third straight. It's still Savage at this stage. Butterworth is right there. This is only a B final, mind you. Here brought to you by Turbo BMX. Round the final corner we go. Head towards the finish line. Savage is going to hold on to this one, I'd say. So it's going to be Savage and Butterworth for the Turbo BMX Junior Superclass Men B final. So if there's a B final, that means there's an A final. So I'd like to call down to the gate for the final of the Turbo BMX Junior Superclass Men. On the 179, Jaden Salisbury. On the 164, Darcy Townsend. On the 525, Heath Cully. On the 266, Cruz Williams. On the 496, he's fought hard all day and even laid on the ground at one point, Ryland Blythe. On the number 12, Byron Rush. On the 200, Zach Levold. And on the 212, Jack Lupton. So quiet please for the Turbo BMX Junior Superclass. Quiet please. Shh. Get loud! As the junior superclass left the gate, it's Salisbury on the inside. Who's on second place? Not sure this time. It's fairly tight into turn number 1. It's Salisbury in there. It could be Cully in the second position. And Huth fell blanket over the rest of them as they make their way up into turn number 2. It's Salisbury, Cullen. Oh, Rush is right out there. Townsend. Williams is right in there. Blythe is also as they make their way down the third straight. It's still Salisbury out in front. So Salisbury, Cully. Rush is holding into third position. Townsend right there with him. Around the final corner we go. It's Salisbury out in front. So it's going to be Salisbury holding on this one. Back to Cully. It's going to be tight for the final position. Back to Rush, Townsend, Williams, Blythe, Levold and Lupton. Okay, up next on the gate now, we have the Devs Contract Cleaning Women 14 Plus Open. I'd like to call down to gate position number 1 on the 21, Nicole Sinclair. Gate number 2 on the 33, Taya Rufus. You are allowed to clap, crowd. On gate number 3 with the 2A, Talia Broomhall. You can see the local hero is on this one. Number 4, 107, Piper Nicholson. Gate number 5 on the 134, Isabella Schramm. Gate number 6 on the 41, the Smiling Assassin, Stephanie Alexander. On the number 7, and gate number 7 on the 26, Mia Webster. And out of gate number 8 on the 119, Lily Farrell. This is the start gate for the Devs Contract Cleaning Women's 14 Plus Open. Let's go Riders, out of the gate we go. Oh, look at Rufus, she's shot out of the gate like a cannon there as they make their way down the turn number 1. Alexander's up into second position, Schramm's in third. I think it's back to Webster there in fourth as they make their way up the second place, up the second straight we go. It's Rufus out in front. This is poetry in motion here. Back to Alexander, Schramm and Webster. Broomhall's right up there with them, the local rider, as they make their way down the third straight we go. It's still Rufus out in front, so it's Rufus. Schramm's moved up to second position. She had a good run down the third straight. This is the Devs Contract Cleaning Women's Open. Rufus, Schramm, Alexander, Webster, Broomhall, Sinclair, Nicholson and Farrell on the line. Okay, just as we get into our final for the Superclass men, just want to thank some big sponsors here today. AAP Interior Linings, Sprung, Hut 6, DCR Construction, Adams Distillery and Redburn Kitchens. Your support is very much appreciated for today's racing. Okay, we're going straight to the final for the Superclass, brought to you by Turbo BMX. We'll call them down in their qualifying order. On the 69, Hayden Fletcher. On the number 17, Oliver Moran. On the 138, Tyson Cobby. On the 915, Justin Oxley. On the 35, Zeth Griffiths. On the 88, Jacob French. On the 441, Damon Hocking. And on the 48, Campbell Whitney. Superclass men brought to you by Turbo BMX. Quiet, please. Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go for the Superclass men brought to you by Turbo BMX. Look at on the inside, it's Fletcher's got a nice one. Moran's right there with him. Cobby's on the outside also as they charge their way up the second straight. As Fletcher on the inside, Moran on the outside. It's going to be tight here. Into turn number 2 we go. As Fletcher he's got the lead. Moran's right there with him. Cobby's digging deep as they charge their way down the third straight. All clean at this stage. Around the final corner we go. As Fletcher out in front. As Fletcher, Moran's right there with him. Is Fletcher going to hold it? Moran's coming at him. It's going to be Fletcher, Moran, Cobby, Oxley. Oh, Whitney, Griffiths, French, and Hocking over the line. That brings us to the end of the 2025 Tassie Thunder. Once again, I want to thank everyone who supported today's event, from all our race sponsors and also our major sponsors, AAP Interior Lighting, Sprung, Hut 6, DCR Constructions, Adams Distillery, Redburn Kitchens. A big shout out to all the officials. Also a big shout out to all the riders who came here today from interstate and intrastate. Thank you very much for coming here to the 2025 Tassie Thunder. And also a big shout out to all those who fed and drunk and watered us here today. So Brew Coffee, Chills on Wheels, and also the Trackside Canteen, all the helpers in there today. Grab yourself a drink, grab something to eat, and we'll do presentations behind the registration box on the podium very shortly.